Okay, hi guys. So today we are going to be making a basic work cycle animation, and it's fairly easy once you've learned how to set up your rig, set out your IK, and basically just set up your rig properly. This shouldn't give you so much problem to do. And today we're going to be jumping into creating this sort of animation in just a few minutes. Let me turn on my overlay. You could also learn how to set bones, custom object for our bones, and so just a really fun course, and you guys will really enjoy. I hope you really enjoyed this, and let's jump right into it. Okay, hi guys, so welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be making just a simple work cycle animation for our character. I've already created the rig for the character and enabled the necessary constraints. For this rig, we just use the inverse kinematics and the copy location. And if you haven't already seen that, I'm just going to put the description. I'm just going to put the link in the description below, or you could just click on the screen to watch that video. So if you haven't already watched it, or you don't know how to create a good rig on amateur, kindly watch the video and proceed with this one. It's just make life way easier for you. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, if you're already here, good, you're all caught up. So I'm just going to create a bone that's going to control the whole rig. And typically we normally call that the root bone, because that is what controls the movement of the whole mesh. Right, so how we do that is Shift S, first cursor toward origin, Shift S, cursor toward origin with 1. Kindly ensure you are in edit mode, then Shift A to create a bone. Now the question is, what exactly are we going to parent? Now we're going to parent all the bones that are not parented to something else. If you can remember, we extruded this first spine, so it's not connected to any bone. It's like a single parent and nothing, and it's not connected to anything, but other objects are connected to it. So we'll parent these IK bones because they're controllers, and then we'll also select these controllers. Now click on one for my front view, and I'll hold Shift and click on this last. I'll click on this last and Control P, keep offset. Okay, awesome. So the next thing is, let me just rename this function F2 and call it roots bone. Right, okay, so we have this. So I can go to my pose mode to see if it's properly parented. So you see, this is going to control the helm mesh. If you could remember, in previous videos I created when we're dealing with work cycle for a robot, yes, we created something like this that controlled the whole mesh. So that is the first step. Now the next thing we ought to do is we need to create some custom bone shapes, because typically nobody uses the bones in its default states. We try to use shapes and objects to represent these bones, just so that it looks better and it's easier to work with. So I'm going to create a circle, Shift A. Okay, sorry, remember, we'll go back to object mode to do that. Shift A, mesh, and circle. Now just scale out like so. Okay, so we have this. Now I'm going to rename this to our bone circle, because this is the reference we're going to use. I'll also move into a collection with M, name the collection bone shape circle. I'll click on my OK, then I would hide it. Then I'll just go to my pose mode to go find it. Now if you want to go to pose mode, remember you have to click on the amateur, right click and go to your pose mode. next step, I'm going to start creating the custom object. Now this might take a while, so I'll just run through it as fast as I can. Now, first thing is, I want to start from the root bone, and then I'll just scroll down. I'll click on the root bone, click on bone right here, bone properties. I'll go to viewport display, unhide it, click on custom objects, and I would see bone circle. Right, so this is nice, but this is not exactly the shape I'm looking for. Right, so next step is to just rotate maybe on the 90 and scale out. To scale out, I'll just click on these 3 and scale out. Not so big. And then we have something that looks like this. So I think this looks really nice. So at least when we click on it, it's just be easier and we'll know exactly what bone we're looking at. And then we'll also add colors. So next step, let me work with the spine bones. I'm going to click on it the same way, bone circle, and it's already created a very nice shape for me. And I think I like the size. So to make this faster, you could just do this one for each bone, but that takes quite a while, especially when you're working with a lot of bones. So what we do, we just click on the first, which is the head bone, hold down shift, the neck bone, the first spine, the third spine, the second spine, then I'll click on this spine last. Remember, the one you click on last is the one you just created a shape. So I'll come back here to custom objects, right click and copy to selected. And you could see I already have very symmetrized custom shapes, right? And I really like this, and I don't think I need to work on the size. I think it's already really nice. So I think we should do the same with this. So I'll click on this bone I named thumb.l. I'll click on custom objects again, bone circle. I think I like this, but let me see if I could just adjust it to some, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So I'll just click on all the sides, right? Then I'll click on this last. I'll right click and copy to selected. And then you could see we have our bones. Now you notice they're a bit not properly oriented because this is the lower arm, so I need to take it down. This is the upper arm, so I'll just adjust this from these parameters here. Remember, you don't rotate the shape of the bone with R or maybe scale out with an S. No, you just come to these parameters here, and then I will now rotate this bone. I'll just have to look for the proper, yes, I think I like this. Yes, so this is okay, but I need to scale down a little. So yeah, I like this. Now use the translation to just move on an axis to the lower arm. So yes, I think this is nice. So it all depends on your own preference as to what you want yours to look like. So I'll just move this down a bit and move this in. Okay, so this is the shoulder. I think I like what the shoulder is. Okay, so let's also do this for the legs. So you could just pause the video and try doing it yourself to know whether you got it or you can do it yourself. But anyways, I'm just going to still do them one. Now, okay, let me do the eye key pose. Bone circle. I really like the shape. It took proper shape. Bone circle. I like the shape as well. So I don't think I'm going to be adjusting them, but I think they're a bit too big. So all I can just do, another way to copy sizes is I could just select these 3 and reduce the size to somewhere here. So I think I like this. You could just click on this, hold shift on this, and maybe come right click copy all to selected, and they take the same shape. And it's really that easy. So I'll just do the same thing with this. And yeah. Okay, I think I like this already. I don't need to work so much on it. And I'll just run through this and continue with the video. Okay, so next thing, once you're done with the left-hand side, you could just apply symmetrize. We have to ensure that you have what you're looking for. Like this part of my own object is a bit, it's not in place, so I'm just going to move it in. I'm going to move it in, and then I think I like this. So I'll just go to my edit mode. I'll just right click to select all the parts on the left hand side. Then I'll just edit, right click, symmetrize. And just like that, we have this set. Now our rig is basically ready to be animated. However, there's a couple of things I want to change. I want to add a bit of color to some of the bones, right? And it's actually very simple. So let's start from the spine. Back to my bone properties. I'll go to bone colors and change to red. Right? I'll change to red. Okay. Okay, so I'll change it to red. I'll hold down my shift. I want all the bones at the center to be red, basically. So it's the same process. I'll just select all of them, right click on this last, right click, copy to selected, and you can see all our center bones are red. Then I would just let me change this tongue to, let's see something that looks greenish. Okay, then I'll just click on all the left-sided bones and click on this last, right click, copy to selected. Right, so we have all this set. Yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing for all these sides. So maybe this side, I want something maybe blue. So here, 2, 3, 4, and I'll click on this last. Right click, copy to selected. The left bones, the same thing. So you could also pause the video and try this out to see if you're understanding it. So for the right legs, I'm just going to go with something a bit orange. It's actually fairly simple if you think about it. It's just the same process again and again and again and again. So I'm just going to click on hold shifts, click on all these other bones, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give the eye bones some different colors. Now click on orange last. Now right click, copy to selected. Okay. So we have this orange, good. This is red. Okay. Then let me just change the color of the eye bones to. Let me look for something a bit unique. So this is fine. This I'll just shift copy this, right click, copy to selected. And this as well. Let's change the color. Let's change the colors basically of all of them. Copy to selected. So you don't need to go around renaming all the bones one. You just need to copy most. Okay, I think I like this color. So the same process. I'm just going to hold shift, click here and here, and then click on this last. Right click, copy to selected, and we have our rig perfectly set up and functional. Now, next step. Now, so the next step is to we're going to hide some bones because I think some of these bone custom objects are a bit too much. And to be honest, we don't use some of these bones anymore because our eye key basically controls the whole foot. So I don't think I need this leg bone. So I'm just going to create a new collection for them and hide it. So how do we create collections? Remember, on pose mode, click on data, click on plus, just rename this to hidden bones or bone hide. Bones hidden. Yeah. Okay, I think this is okay. So I'm just going to select the bones I think I'm not going to make use of, like this, like this, like these two. I don't think I'm going to using the IK pole anymore because it's already parented to this and it's going to be rotating with this. So I think I like just this bone because we're going to be using the heel, the toes and the heel part, the shoe areas. So I'm just going to click on M, click on hidden bones or bones hidden, and then they're moved to a different collection. And if I hide them, I think I'm just going to, nope, I think I'll leave this, or I think I should just move this into a new collection, HM hidden bones. So, and then you see I have the leg area is a bit freer. So I think we're ready to start our animation. Right, so it's actually very simple. Now, first thing we're going to do is, whenever you're working on animation, you always need some sort of reference. So we're just going to pull in a quick walk cycle reference here. So to do that, I'll click on Shift A, Image, Reference. So I've already had downloaded my reference work. I'll also put the description in the video when you could download the work, the reference basically. So I've already renamed it Load Local. So I'm just going to click on G. And now this is a very good work cycle reference. So I'm just going to take it to, I'll jump into my pose mode and begin. But then again, I'll still need to rotate this. Okay, so I'm just going to come back to my object mode. And next now, I want to just rotate this. So once I'm in my pose mode, it gets easier, right? So I'll just, because if I click on 3, it basically can't see it, and I'm going to be mostly working on 3. So let me just go back to my object mode, then come back to my 1, click on this and rotate it on the z-axis to 90 degrees, RZ90, RZ90, and then I think that's okay. Then we have something like this. So I think this is good. So I'll just jump into my pose mode and start adding some keyframes. Now, the best way to understand this is our work cycle has different poses. It has a contact pose, which is the same. I really hope this is clear enough for you to see. But if it's not, kindly just download from the reference in the description and work with. So we have a contact pose, which is the first 2. Right? The contact pose, which is the first 2 videos, the first 2 images. So basically, this and this are our contacts, the first and the last. Then our down, we have our up and our passing pose. I don't know if this is clear enough. So the idea is we're going to first set our image to look exactly like this, like the first contact pose. Then we'll go to the end and paste, but we'll paste it inverted. It's going to be flipped. So I'm just going to start. So let's go. Remember, we're going to be trying to set the legs and the hands. So let me click on this. So this is the first step. Now don't worry about your character deforming. Okay, I think I like this. Then I'm just going to click on this. Right, I think the body went down a bit, so I'm just going to click on the spine. Yes, and do something like this. So you have to just be careful when you're working with this, so you don't deform your character or your mesh. So I'm just going to rotate this. I think I'll pull this up a bit. Yeah, so if you notice, the toes are a bit folded, so I'm just going to try and imitate every action I see here. Now, oh, I think I missed a step, but the first thing you should obviously do, you need to set the hands back to a resting position, because currently it's on an A pose, right? So I'm just going to rotate this. So, right. I'm just going to rotate this a bit. Good. So we have something like this. Then I'm going to try and work on the hands. Kindly remember that the area shaded black on the reference images are, I think, the right hand side, from depending on where you are working on. But I'm working on the left view, so I'm just going to try and set the hands. Let me click this. Click on 3, and you could see the back hands. Okay. Okay, so this was still enabled. That's my bad. So I'm just going to click on 3, rotate this backwards a bit, but not so much. So I'm just going to do something like this. And the trick is just to ensure that you get the best angles of all of this. There's no magic to it. You just to do it quietly, and don't just be too fast about it, because it's quite easy. You just to get the perfect shape. Okay, so let me click on the palm. Just select this too. Rotate this. Have this. Now I think the character leaned forward a little. I think I may have made an error. Oh, I think it's inversed. I think this should go back. This is the right time to use the gizmo. So let me just take this back. Yeah, 3, and move this forward. Yes, exactly. This is what we're trying to get. So I could just turn the hands down to look like the reference a little. And this is really nice. So the next thing is kindly make sure you're on the 0 keyframe. Click on A to select all the bones and click on I to insert a keyframe. Now, for whatever reason you might be experiencing, if you click on I, you might see something like this. That should not scare you so much. Just click on the location and rotation and you'll be just fine. So next thing, I'm going to go to 13 frames, and the plan is to paste this first pose to the end, but I want it to be flipped. Okay, so I'm just going to do that quickly. You can do it from here. You can copy pose from here and you can paste the pose flipped, but I'll just rather use the shortcut, which is to copy Ctrl+C, to paste it is Shift Ctrl+V. Right, then I click on I, and then let's see. Okay, I don't think I copied correctly. So let me just delete this. Ctrl+C, Shift Ctrl+V. But it's on the 15th frame, so I'm just going to take it back to around 13. Yes. So what we'll have something like this. And this is a really nice work cycle already, but we just need to create the in-between keyframes for it to have some neutral poses. And it's fairly easy. All we just need to do is we'll establish the down position, the up position, and the passing pose. So the next frame is going to be frame 4, and it's already closely it resembles the reference already. So it's just a fairly simple step. We'll just adjust keyframes. Okay, I think this is okay. Okay, this is flat on the floor. Then this shut out a bit. And I'm going to rotate a bit more. Then remember, do your best not to deform your object. I think the spine, it came down a bit. Not so much, but something like this. Okay, then I'm just going to do this to get the most neutral position I could get. Okay, so I think I've set the legs a bit. I'm just going to move the body up a little bit. Okay, now for the hands, we're just going to swing them out a bit more like our reference, but that's a bit so much. I think there's a bit of curve, so I'm just going to curve this, shoot this out a bit more, rotate this. Okay, then as for the backhand, I think we had some movement as well. I think I'm going to swing these hands a bit more, so it could be like more like the reference. Okay, so I think all looks good, and I'm already on the 4th keyframe. On the 4th frame, I'll click on A and click on I to establish my down pose, and I think I like that, so this is what we'll have. So let's go to 10. let's set up the up, then we'll set up the middle. Now if you notice, we already have something really similar to the pose already, but we just need to do a bit of work. So I'm just going to rotate this on the floor, and this bends forward a bit, just a bit. So I'm just going to grab and move it up a little.
Okay.
I think I'm just going to adjust the body a bit. Okay. What's next? I think the hands are somewhat in place. I think there's a bit more relaxed here. Yeah, I think this is all right. I think he leans forward just a little bit. So I think we'll have something like this, and this is not so bad. I think I'll just lift this up higher to fit the reference a bit more. Okay, I think so. This will be my up. Oh, okay. I was actually setting up the passing pose, which is okay. I'll just okay, let me set up the up. Sorry, I was mistaken. So I'll just do this because this is the next keyframe to establish. Next step is just get the hands correctly. This is a bit more, this is higher, and there's a bit of rotation. So we'll have something like this. Yeah, I think I like this. So I'm going to click here, click on 3, rotate this inwards and grab it outwards. Then these areas, I'm just going to rotate them. 3, rotate again. So it could just be visible a little. Now this leg, yes, I think this is good for a passing pose. Yep, I think I like this. So okay, this looks good. So A and I, insert keyframe. So for this 7 is almost done. So I'm just going to adjust the legs. G, grab it down. I'm going to move the body just slightly up. Oh, I'll just ignore that movement entirely and rotate this. Slight movement on the body. Grab like so, rotate. Now, what else? I think every other thing is actually set. Okay, so this is really nice, and I think that yes, the body was forward a bit, but I'm just going to use the gizmo so I don't deform. And this is a bit too much. Yeah. So I think I'm just going to click on A and click on I to insert keyframes. So we already have something like this, and I really like this. Now it's a bit short. So we're just going to copy and paste some poses to make it a bit longer, because what we have basically is half of a walk cycle. So I'm just going to go to every three frames. So this is the 13th frame. I'll go to the 16th frame. I'm going to come to the second keyframe here, and start copying and pasting it flipped. So Ctrl C for the second keyframe, which is on frame 4, Shift Ctrl V, right? On 16, then I'll go to around 19, come to this one, which is the third, Ctrl C, then Shift Ctrl V. So it's supposed to be around 19, so I'll just move it to 19 for a more consistent movement. 19, 20, 21, 22, so around 22 keyframes. I think I should come here, Ctrl C, Shift Ctrl V. All I'm doing is I'm just pasting all of them flipped. Then I'll go to around 25. I'm going to come here to the first. I'm not going to copy, I'm not going to paste, I'm just going to duplicate because it's going to be basically the same thing. So Shift D, grab and move. So this 25. Let me just move it perfectly here. So all we have is this, which is really cool. So I think we are almost done. We just have a couple of tiny things to adjust further. And what's that? We just need to make it a bit longer. The sequence, I'm just going to copy all of this and Shift D, G, and move it a bit further. But I want the beginning keyframe to match the end. So I'm just going to pair it. And then I'm going to duplicate again, G, and then move it and have it somewhere around here. And then we have something like this. So this is a basic work cycle, and yeah, it could be better, but we're just trying to rush it real quick. We don't have so much time to do all necessary detail, but I'm fairly certain your own cycle is going to be definitely better than this if you take time and adjust the movements. Okay, so there's a bit more I could adjust, but the next thing I'm just going to do, I'm just going to try and do a movement in time, right? So I know we have this bone here, which is the root, so I can just quickly just do something small here. I'm just going to add a keyframe here with I. I'm going to click on A to know where the keyframe ended around here, and I'm just going to do GY. I'll move it like so. Click on I to insert the keyframe, and then we'll have a movement like so. But of course, just like the last time we did the robots cycle and work cycle animation, I'm just going to select all these keyframes, click on T, click on interpolation to linear, and then it's going to stop moving really fast. Now we could just adjust the keyframes to be a bit faster or slower as you would wish, but that is the main idea behind it. So if you want your character to move faster, you could just select all the keyframes, A, select all, S, go to the beginning, S, and scale it down. But I don't think I need to. I just need a slower work cycle, which is okay. Now I can just do a little bit more adjustment, but that is not exactly what I need to do. So I'll go to my object mode and hide my reference, and there and then I know basically that my work cycle is over, and it worked basically, well, sort of, because it's not a perfect work cycle. But what we can do, we can just improve the movement, we can improve the speed. If I move it faster, it will definitely work something like this, which is better. But for now, I think you should just try it out and give me your feedback at the comments, any issues you have always. And as well, remember to watch the first video on how to create the rig, because without the rig we basically don't have anything, right? So you could just do this, and yes, we have a faster animation. So thank you so much guys for watching, and if you have any concern about this video or you have a question which you don't really understand, kindly leave a comment in the comment box, and I'll respond to each and every one of them. And as well, kindly like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're building a community of 3D lovers and 3D artists. So kindly like and subscribe and turn on the notification, because I'm going to be dropping more content to definitely help you and make your process as a 3D artist better. So with that, thank you so much, and kindly also comment the video you want me to touch on next, and I'll get back to that as soon as possible. Till then, thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye.